Welcome to the Why We Advocate podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine Uribe, and joining us today is Arely Hernandez, Associate Director for Campus Program. We're excited to talk to you about advocacy and the initiatives that Nova has planned for our community. Let's dive right in. Hi, Arely, how are you?
Hi, Jasmine. Hola, I'm doing well. How are you today?
Doing well. I'm really excited to be having this conversation with you. So let's get into our first question. So, what is campus advocacy, and how does Nova work with college campuses?
Well, Jasmine, that's a great question. And first of all, thank you for having me here and for sharing a little bit about campus advocacy and how Nova works with college campuses. So, advocacy is about supporting students who are impacted by domestic violence, dating violence, sexual violence, stalking, or harassment that occurs on their campus or around the proximities of their campuses. As long as they are college students, campus advocacy is there to support them. And at Nova, we work directly with college campuses to provide trauma-informed services, prevention, education, specifically to train their practitioners or their advocates. So we have a variety of training opportunities, we have webinars, we have campus meetups where we try to bring in the campus advocate community across the nation from the different universities, colleges, different designated universities to come together and talk about how we can support each other, enhance and expand campus advocacy on their universities. We also want to make sure that they understand what the field has to provide and how can we support them as they venture into that particular avenue on their campuses. So whether they have an advocate providers there or they come together with the community advocates or their community agency, we want to also make sure that those community advocates understand what their resources are, but also what their rights are as survivors for their campus.
Great. Yes, thank you for sharing that. It sounds like such important work. As many of our advocates are working in different communities and different settings, we can't forget about those advocates that are working on college campuses with student survivors of domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking, and more. We know that advocates are important to our greater community. And it's really nice to hear that Nova has a place for campus advocates. So, with that said, what opportunities exist for our campus advocates at Nova's 51st annual training event?
So at NOAA 51, we offer a wide range of opportunities and that we are excited to offer. One of those includes our pre-conference campus advocacy meetup. This is a space where campus advocates can come together and create these alliances, these relationships, establish networks across the nation to build the field, to share what is working, what is not, but also to share and celebrate the successes of our campus and of our work. In addition to that, we will also be having various campus advocacy sessions throughout the NOVA conference. Some of these are very exciting, and I am super excited to have, for example, a session on harnessing restorative practices and power consciousness, advancing campus violence prevention and advocacy. We also talk about Title IX, which is an important piece for advocacy and also within the higher education landscape. So we do have a session on, what exactly does Title IX leave us with, right? Because there's just so many different changes that are happening. So as advocates, we want to make sure that we're providing the service, but we're also knowing what the law says. And of course, we also have one on transforming financial support. Sometimes we don't think about finance as part of an abuse. And so this session is really going to highlight how, as advocates, we can also support our survivors when it comes to these financial troubles and challenges and what resources are available for them. So it's really a great opportunity, again, to connect. And also, we're creating a pipeline of passionate folks from our campuses to come together and join, these efforts, but also knowing that they are making a difference on their campuses and making sure that they feel supported by NOVA.
Yes, that's great. And thank you for giving me that sneak peek into the workshops. I was going to ask, like, can you share more about content? But yes, from policy conversations to resources like financial resources for student survivors and more, NOVA's 51st annual training event is an opportunity for those that are working on campus and even for students who are interested in learning more about the field of victim advocacy to kind of hear more about those trainings and content and resources from our subject matter experts. So I am really enjoying that Nova is creating that opportunity for a community of advocates. Whether you're working in community settings or campus settings, Nova 51 is for you. So if you haven't already registered, please do so. You'll get to hear from the campus advocates that are presenting that Adley mentioned, and you'll also get to network with a few of our campus advocates who will be there for the gathering that you said the week before conference. So that is all very, very exciting. So I'm going to ask our last question now, if you're ready, Arely. And it's a play on the name of our podcast. So our podcast is the Why We Advocate podcast. And I want to know what your why is. What keeps you going and what keeps you thriving when you do this work?
Oh, Jasmine, that's a great question, and we can talk about this for more than just our podcast time. But for me, my why is rooted in wanting to be that support that I wish existed for me and for so many others in the university setting. Everyone in the college setting and everywhere deserves to feel safe, to feel heard, to be supported. And being part of that change is what keeps me going and keeps me wanting to support the current and the future community advocates.
Great, great response. So you too can be a part of the change by joining Nova's annual training event and joining our community of advocates. I got chills when you said, your why is to do the work and to provide the resource that you wish you had. Both as a student and also working on college campuses. That is really, really remarkable. And I'm so excited that you all can be joining us for Nova 51. Stay tuned for more information on ways Nova is celebrating community on the next Why We Advocate podcast. Thanks so much, Arely.
Thank you, Jasmine.